Welcome everyone, it's Gray Shirt Guy, Rock the Gray Shirt as always. Back with a studio update. It's the 26th of August, and we're going to be talking about what we painted since our last video, and kind of going into what we're going to be doing next. And if you saw in the back corner, one of my cats is hiding behind that pillow. But anyways, alright, let's kind of get into it. Okay, so we got our Steel Legion army pretty much all done up for now. We don't know the state of the Forge World models when the new Guard Codex comes out. If precedence is to be known, there is a large chance that a lot of these are going to Legends. Not guaranteed. A lot of the Forge World models were specifically designed for the Deathcore Krieg, like the Crassus Armored Transport and the Macarius. They were very kind of tied in with Krieg. And if we're going to get Plastic Krieg Refresh, which is rumored, we will either get these vehicles in plastic, or for at least another edition, they'll leave them alone. But there is a concern, a deep concern, that a lot of the Forge World stuff that are Guard might be going to Legends. Now, if that is the case, this will be yet another Guard army that I painted completely that will have models removed from it right after I finish painting it. So let's just hope that we get to keep them. You know, you never can tell with bees. You never can tell with GW. Sometimes they leave some things in, sometimes they don't. Sometimes they get rid of things. But we're gonna go through what we've got painted, and it's looking pretty nice. So if you've seen some of the other videos, you've probably seen some of these models. Same thing if you've done the shorts. But let's get into it. All right. So we have 6 infantry squads. These are the old metal Steel Legion infantry squads. 1 platoon command squad. We went with platoon this time. Well, mostly because they're not Cadians, so we're not going to use a Cadian command squad. That would be silly. So they're all just infantry squads. We have a platoon command squad. We have a tank commander with Punisher cannon and triple heavy bolter. This is a legacy from many editions before when this was a good tank. It's still a decent tank now. Not as good as it used to be. And then, yeah, it's just kind of a holdover from where we were before. I painted that. That model was painted like 3 years ago, 2-3 years ago. We have 3 armored sentinels with las cannons and hunter killer missiles. Also, I'm just gonna say they have the chain sword because it's free. Then we have a solar lord with a little bit of a conversion. You'll see that if you haven't already. We have a death strike missile, a manticore, 3 chimeras, 1 Macarius battle tank, and then I think that might. Well, we have a commissar that's not in this picture, but you'll see. All right, let's move on to the next photo. All right, here we have a 20-man blob with just basically 2 infantry squads slapped together. It's 2 missile launchers, 2 Voxcasters, 2 sergeants, obviously, with las pistol chainsword, and 2 grenade launchers. And then we have our platoon command squad. I don't know if we have... Yeah, we have a slightly better picture of the platoon command squad. So this one we're rocking a plasma gun, a commander with a power fist and a plasma gun, 1 melta-gun, a standard bearer, and a medic with a chainsword. We did a little bit of conversions. Also, the standard bearer in this case has a chainsword as well. Kind of a little bit more close combat with some special weapons. The idea is that the 20-man unit and the command squad will be in the Crassus, and then they'll jump out as a combined blob of 25. So that'll work out pretty cool. And then moving on. Another close-up shot of these. I went with a green Flecktarn pattern for the old Steel Legion here with gray, and I think it turned out really well. It was a lot of effort, a lot of painting, and a lot of just batch painting 60 models, and it was fun. It was arduous at certain moments. It was really dedicating the time to painting these is kind of like what was the hardest part, was just finding the time to do it. For the bases, we just went with I forget which basing compound I used, some sort of Agrax or shit, not Agrax, or some sort of a Grelin Earth. I think it came from the Vallejo, one of the Vallejo textures, and then we just primed it with black. Then we went over it with some browns and some greens, and kind of sort of made it a European dirt kind of. So like if you're familiar with bolt action, we went with mixing browns and greens together. I don't play bolt action, just familiar with that kind of color scheme for the European theater. And then we have another 10-man infantry squad unit. I did put some funny little notes on the missiles there, just little messages to the enemies. This one just has a standard missile or missile launcher, grenade launcher, boxcaster, and sergeant. This will also be in the Crassus, so the Crassus can take up to 35 models. So we're putting 3 infantry squads, well, 1 20-man squad, 1 10-man squad, and 1 5-man command squad. And so, or if you want, you can put 3 10-man in a command squad if you want to like diversify it and spread them out and have them go to different directions. The idea is that the Crassus has fire support as a special rule. So you want to drive the Crassus up into the middle, dump out the infantry, and you just want the Crassus to shoot at different things or at the same thing. I think it's one thing that it shoots at. Do a chip wound on it, and then anything that shoots at that thing will get the fire support benefit. I do believe that's how that works. If that's not how that works, disregard. I just wanted the Crassus because I thought it was a cool model. I think it looks really nice in this whole situation. Man, I really hope that we get to keep our Guard Forge World models. I hope they just bring them to plastic and we don't get rid of them. The Crassus would be a great plastic dual kit for the Praetor. That would be awesome to get a plastic Crassus or Praetor option. I think that would be great. I would take, and then you could do a plastic Macarius kit that has all the different variants. But with the Rogel Dorn, I don't think they're going to do a plastic Macarius. I don't think they want to do it. They did do a plastic Malcador, but that's Horus Heresy, and the Macarius was always mostly 40k. So we'll see what we do. I just hope that we don't take... I know the Guard is such a large, diverse line, but if you start taking the Forge World models away from the Guard, you're going to run into problems. Anyways, let's keep going. I'm ranting too much. Then we got our 3 Armored Sentinels. You can probably just say they're Scout Sentinels if you wanted to. And they got the old las cannon. I did rebase them onto the new 80mm base. That was kind of annoying, but I did rebase them onto the larger base. We're good there. We have our tank commander. For a moment, when they did a points change, before they did another points change, I had to downgrade this to just a regular tank with a Punisher cannon. But it's back to being a tank commander, so we threw out some orders to some of the vehicles. That's pretty cool. And I did glue on all the sponsons and the guns. I didn't magnetize them or slot them. I did glue them on, so we are stuck with what we have, which is fine. And this model was the first Steel Legion model I ever painted, and so it's slightly different than the other ones. The dead flesh paint does take up more than the gray, and I think it's a slightly off-shade gray, but I think it still looks like a Steel Legion tank. So, and the aerial's a little bent, but it works just fine. All right, so we have our Solar Lord, and then so this is the, which was it? It wasn't the metal one. It was the fine cast. So this is the fine cast Yarick head and some green stuff and the claw and everything mounted onto the what is this, Solar Lord Leontus. Solar Lord Leontus's body. And we went with more of a steel, a gray. We did throw some gold in there. And he's walking on that Reaver head. And I went with the orange for the Reaver is one of the Chaos Titan Legions. It does have an orange color scheme, so we went with that. And so this Solar Lord will be used in a bunch of different armies, but I did want to give him... I did want to showcase and highlight him in this army because I feel like he really fits in this army really well. But we will be using him in other armies as well. And I think it looks cool. And we have just another infantry squad. Love Big E. Love the Big Emperor. And then we have obviously our 3 Chimeras with the 3 infantry squads that go in the Chimeras. Looking pretty nice there. And then we have a Commissar that's using the old Metal Yarick model, and I think he turned out pretty well. So going with that, he's going to ride in with one of the transports. Just a couple more zoomed in highlights. They look nice. I really like them. I think it says pointy end towards chaos or something like that. Pointy end towards enemy, I think maybe is what it says. I forget what this party... It's Tau Shoot Bad. So I wrote little notes on these. I can't remember what they all say. But one says like 2 Abaddon. Well, it says 2 Abby for 2 Abaddon. And yep. And I really standardized this yellow on the headlights, blue on lenses, or blue on like glass, and then red on lenses, and just keeping it looking nice. So we got the Macarius. This model wasn't too bad to paint. It is a heavy model. It's not really hollow. Some of them are a little more hollow than others, but it wasn't too bad. It was a slog to wash, though. As you see on a lot of the tracks in these tanks, I did do a pretty heavy soiling of the tracks with Typhus Corrosion to kind of simulate some mud. I did do a bunch of dry brushing and then slapped on the mud, and I think it looks really good. I think it turned out pretty well. And we added some red because this could be a night vision infrared heat lamp. So I went red on that instead of orange, but I did yellow down here. And then we have our Manticore and our Deathstrike. Now, if anybody notices these colors, I was playing a lot of Helldivers 2 at the time when I was painting these. So I did paint those like that. But these are movable. This can go up and down a certain part. This can also go all the way up, all the way down. But since this hatch is open to look inside the cockpit, you can't bring the Deathstrike all the way down, which is just something I learned. Aside from that, I think these guys are looking pretty cool. They've been built for a long time. I'm glad to get them done. They were sub-assembled forever, and now it's... As I'm getting the projects, as I'm getting through the painting, the sub-assembled pieces are slowly forming into completed models, and they are finally, what I thought in my head is finally coming out into the real space, and I'm really enjoying it. And I think this is the end of the army, but on to the last nice model. Nope, a little bit more highlight onto what we got going on here. I think, oh, yeah, this is it down. This is it raised all the way up. Cool. And then on to the Stormblade. So, Forge World exclusive model. It uses the Baneblade chassis with a Forge World upgrade for the center part of the Baneblade, the rear hatch, the cannon, and then it's got a coaxial gun. And then you could... I feel like this gun could easily be made using the existing... I feel like it could easily be released in plastic as just like either a separate upgrade sprue for the Baneblade. They've reiterated the plastic Baneblade box 3 times now. The most recent one comes with quad sponsons where you get 2 sets of sponsons in it. And I feel like if they add the Stormblade plasma cannon as a option in the kit, it will make it way more expensive. It would be fine if they just released... I don't know. See, I'm torn about whether or not they would want to release the Stormblade as like an upgrade kit for the Baneblade kit, or just keep releasing the Stormblade kit as it is. I can also see them just dumping it and just going to Legends. Now, they have said that Forge World wants to focus on their Titanic and their larger super heavy models, so it might be possible that this one's not going to go away. It might be possible that the Crassus, the Macarius, and the Stormblade, and all of the big... It might be possible that all of the big guard vehicles that have Titanic or are super heavy are going to be fine, because there are a lot of guard vehicles that are either small aircraft or are regular, just like the Bombard is just like a regular gun. And then the Minotaur I think is Titanic, but it's just a double basilisk. I'm not 100% sure what we're going to keep, what we're not going to keep. I have no inside information. I just hope that we don't lose this one, because I really like this one. And I finally got it painted. Plasma Globe is done with the airbrush. There's a lot of... So I have done better plasma on smaller models, but when it comes to the bigger model, I spent so much time painting the rest of it. I was just like, yeah, we'll do the airbrush. It'll look pretty nice. I still think it looks good. I got a couple more angles. I would like a plastic version of this. I think a plastic version of this would be really cool, because all the resin parts were a pain. There was a lot of warping. Most of the model itself is plastic, but this resin top section, which there's a plastic version of this top section. It looks slightly different, but there is a plastic similar version of the top section because it's what the Stormlord and everything uses. But painting this red and white on here, I had to paint it by hand because when I painted it with the I put some masking tape down, but when I peeled up the masking tape, it just ripped the layer off of the resin. And Forgel resin, no matter how much you clean it and no matter how much you sand it, still has like a problem. And you know what? I really need to hit these with the old, because I just finished this tank yesterday, the day before. I think it was yesterday, and I really need to hit these with a varnish. Now that I think about it, but it's in the shelf. It's not going anywhere. But yeah, this Chaparooski is done. I do like the fuel tanks on the back. They look pretty nice. But like most of the vehicle itself is just the plastic one. There's just some metal bit or some resin bits mixed in. But yeah, and that is the Steel Legions. That's a studio update for at least the models that we have gotten painted. Next, we're moving on to Sisters of Battle. Now, with the Sisters of Battle, it's my wife's army, and I let her pick what she wants each squad to be painted. So far, we've had Care Bears Sacrosanct. We've had we were watching a lot of She-Ra at the time when I built the army before we moved, because I was painting her army before we moved. Even before I knew I was moving, I was painting her army, and then when we moved, I got a we just had to put it on the back burner, and there were other armies that I wanted to get done sooner. And then now that I've kind of got some models under me with the Cities of Sigmar box set, the Heldrake, the Steel Legion, now I feel comfortable again with painting to move on to getting her models done, because there's a lot more freehand, a lot more care and attention, because it's not like painting an army so much as painting units that will go into an army. But yeah, a lot of it is whatever thing that she likes and whatever color scheme she picks is what I paint for the army. I think we're going to do all of the different eras of Taylor Swift albums. So we're going to do for a while. And then I know for the... because we have a bunch of Retributors. No, what are the Sisters of Battle name? Hold on. My Sisters of Battle lore is a little Repentia. So we have 3 full Repentia squads, and I know that they're going to be more than likely painted to be as CrossFitters, because my wife does enjoy the CrossFit, and so there will be mostly painted like the tank tops and the shorts will all be like different colors, like pastels or reds or whatever you would see at like a CrossFit competition. Is probably what we're going to do with those. And then but as far as, so Morvenval, we haven't decided the color schemes on all of them, but we have Morvenval, we have St. Celestine, we have Canoness, we got the new Canoness with the jump pack, we do have a Dialogus, we have a Hospitaller, we do have we don't have a Dialogus, we have a Dogmata, or Dogmata, however you want to say it. We have 2 Sisters of Battle full 10-man squad, or 10 lady squads. We have 1 Novitiate squad. We have a 10-man Seraphim or Zephyrin squad. Did they get rid of the... Oh, yeah. No. What was it? Dominion? There was a Dominion squad, then there was another squad. They got rid of that one? That's kind of... Huh. Because it was Dominion... What was the one before Dominion? Something with a C. I forget what they called it, but... Huh. So they got rid of that one. And And we got a Rhino, we got one Exorcist, we got... she does have one Castigore. It was painted like Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. So essentially we're going to be painting the army squad by squad, or model by model, based upon what she wants the color to be. There was a period of time where we were thinking about a unified, cohesive color scheme, like maybe Order of Bloody Rose or Our Martyred Lady. And it just didn't seem that fun. And one day, she was just looking at like different old things from her childhood, and she was like, oh, I really like Care Bears. And I was like, yeah, okay. And then she's like, can you do a Care Bears Space Marine? Or Sisters of Battle? And we did do the Care Bears Sisters of Battle. I don't know if... Hold on. Let me see if I can pull up any pictures from that era. Do I have any on my computer? Let me check. Warhammer Pictures, 40K, Sisters of Battle. I do. So, let's see. Yeah, so we have the Care Bears Sacrosancts. I only did 5 of them, and they're the spears, or the halberds? Halberds? I think they're halberds. And then you've got the one main spear. And so they have their different color bases based upon the different bears, and they have their different, what they call cutie marks on them. I forget all of them, like what they different mean. I really think this Shooting Star freehand, these are all done freehand. I think these were done pretty well. And then, yeah, so that's what I have on the computer for those. But so it'll be a very cutesy, a very girly pop army. And then after that, I will probably move into probably, I have torn between Praetorian Guard and Deathcore Krieg, or I forget what that was. Well, we're definitely going to be cycling in Blood Angels. So the new Blood Angels are coming out in a couple weeks. Well, the Blood Angel box set is coming out in a couple weeks. And my wife pre-ordered the box set for me. She was able to get it before they sold out. And so I'm going to be having Death Company. Now, my Atlantean Spears, canonically, do not look favorably upon the Death Company. But we will... So we're either going to be painting the Death Company just Codex compliant black and red. And then either putting a teal blue accent on like knee pads or shoulders or something, or to where it's saying that they are Death Company from the Atlantean Spears, or they're going to be Death Company from a Blood Angels detachment, just like a Blood Angels army, because Lamarties and Asterath have just, you know, taken them on a traveling cruise, and they're just with, you know, they're not former Atlantean Spears, because the Atlantean Spears do shun those that fall to the Black Rage. So they might just be Death Company that come from another chapter, either the main Blood Angels or a successor chapter, because we do have the key characters of Lamarties, and so I'll probably be painting that whole box just Codex compliant Blood Angels, which would be pretty cool. But aside from that, after because I do have Dante, after I cycle in Blood Angels, I'll probably be doing Deathcore Krieg or Praetorian Guard. I might wait on Guard. I might go either back to Chaos to do some Chaos Space Marine stuff after I do the Blood Angels. We might wait on Guard until we get closer to the Guard release and see what's going to stay and what's going to go. But yeah, oh, hey Foxy, do you want to be on the video? Come here. Come here. Oh, hold on. The people want to see the dog. Hold on, wait. All right. Yeah, I'll let them know how cute you are. All right. Kiss me all. Anyways, that'll be pretty much it. So, hope you guys enjoyed, and yeah, I'll see you around next time. Goodbye.